Today, the box office today, and it isn't a very interesting week at the box office. Basically, because there's no new movies coming out. Typically, they will usually release something like the week between Memorial Day or the first summer blockbuster. I don't know why they do that, but it gives Top Gun more room to make money, which is good, and it gives Doctor Strange, a chance to make $1 billion. I don't think Doctor Strange will make $1 billion at this point. People were saying it was guaranteed at the beginning, but the rigs for this movie were absolutely abysmal for a movie. Yeah, it made $9 million, but it could have been making way more money than $9 million this weekend. But Top Gun is having extremely good rigs for a movie. This is the rigs for Top Gun. I thought, it's Memorial Day, so it won't hold. This is the current rigs. It is outperforming the average gross for its movie. So if it continues performing like this, a $400 million plus worldwide domestic total is very much possible. It's at $291 million at this current moment, and it has made $415 million currently worldwide. They have not updated the international box office at all, so it's probably around $200 million internationally, which means the movie will be at around $490 to $500 million this weekend. Will it make $1 billion worldwide? Well, it's the wrong shot, but I don't think it will. I don't think it's really possible at this current point to make $1 billion worldwide, because again, this is a movie more catering towards American audiences. I think that it will make around $800 million at the end worldwide. I think that, or $700-800 million, like everybody was predicting. It's definitely going to have better rigs than Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness in America. It might even have better rigs worldwide than Doctor Strange as well. So, yeah, this movie, no international sales at all yet. So, yep. Next is Doctor Strange. It's now at $909 million worldwide. So, they have updated, I think this is the worldwide total. They have updated the worldwide total to $909 million. Yep, it's at $909 million. And Jurassic World's coming out next week. Okay. This movie's gonna probably drop to around $4 million domestically and probably around another $7 million outside of America. It's not gonna make $1 billion for around $11 million a week, and it drops like 50% every time. It's gonna probably end up around $940 to $950 million worldwide. Unless Disney, for some reason tries to boost this movie like Endgame to make sure it makes $1 billion. Yeah, I don't think this movie will make $1 billion. Even then, this movie still made a ton of money as well. $200 million budget, $909 million. It's still the highest grossing movie so far of the year. I think that's going to be passed by Jurassic World and probably Minions. Okay, but, because, yeah, people, kids are going to want to watch Minions. I don't know why people like those movies so much. I don't know why. Okay, I used to like those movies too, but I don't like those movies anymore. Minions, not a good movie. Despicable Me 3, not a good movie. And yet, Doctor Strange. Bob's Burgers, the movie. Again, a movie that literally nobody asked for. Another box office failure for Disney. There is no budget for this movie. But considering that the movie didn't really do too well at the box, isn't really doing too well, $23 million worldwide. Again, no updates for international sales. Again, the budget is unknown, but this might be just another box office failure for Disney. So it means Disney has only had one successful movie this year, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lightyear underperforms the quote-unquote expectations that they put out for, because Lightyear is a woke movie, as what people are telling it, as what people are saying. So, Bob's Burgers, the movie, again, a movie that literally no one asked for, okay, and no one is basically watching, okay. The Bad Guys, again, is doing pretty well at the box office. It is having really good rigs for a $20 million opening movie. This movie only opened to around $23 million. It made $87 million domestically, $140 million. So you have updated the international sales to that now, $218 million worldwide. I think that a Bad Guys 2 will probably be made, and I think it will probably be one of DreamWorks' next great franchises. Okay, DreamWorks has struggled to really get a new franchise off the ground that was actually like good or memorable. Of course, you had that Trolls franchise. They tried to make Boss Baby into a franchise as well. But I think Bad Guys could be the next Kung Fu Panda, the next How to Train Dragon, the next Madagascar. A movie series that can, stick with people. Okay, not Boss Baby, not Trolls. Okay, though Trolls, oh, no one really liked Trolls. Okay, no one really liked that movie. Okay, despite making so much money, and they're making a third Trolls movie for some reason. Okay, and I wouldn't be surprised if that movie flops as well, the third Trolls movie. But yet, Bad Guys, $218 million worldwide at this current moment. So there is a very likelihood we'll get a second movie. I think a second movie will make more money than the first movie as well. Next is Downton Abbey, A New Era. Again, another movie, is doing really badly at the box office. It's doing abysmally at the box office. It has a $40 million budget, so that means this movie hasn't even passed its budget yet. Which means this movie is a box office failure. And I don't think we can get a third Downton Abbey movie. Okay? Because nobody asked for a second Downton Abbey movie. No one really wanted the first movie to begin with, but for some reason, the first movie made a decent enough money. Again, I don't know how popular the show is, but it was popular enough that got a sequel. But again, they still released this in March, not, May. Okay? I think this is another movie where the pointless and unnecessary delay really hurt the movie, like the Lego Movie 2. Okay? If this movie released in March when really nothing came out, then, and I get it, they delayed because they delayed Super Pets. Okay? Which again is a movie that I think no one's going to want to watch. Okay? That's no one's going to want to see. Okay? As well. Super Pets. Again, kids will watch it probably, but they're, yeah. Next is Everything Everywhere All at Once. Again, this movie has done really well at the box office. $60 million, $50 million internationally. And this movie opened with this much. 501,305. So, I actually did pre-order this movie on Blu-ray. I wonder if this movie is actually good like everybody and the cat is saying it. Yeah, I don't want to say dog, that's, very repetitive. But, I bet this movie probably is good. It's probably better than Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Again, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is, mid. Nobody, it's not. This movie has had extremely good legs, and even releasing this now internationally, which shows that hey, this movie, people actually like this movie, and that's probably why it keeps doing this well at the box office. Because despite having one of the worst release schedules of the year. And I was like astonished, like this movie's still doing this well. It's still making money. Okay, because typically a movie like this comes out, makes like $7 million, and ends up making like $30 to $40 million. But nope, this movie actually has made money because the budget's like $20 million or something. Which means this movie has made money a long time ago. So yep, next is Sonic 2. Again, this movie has been out for so long now. I think that this movie might not make $400 million worldwide, but has gone into the green with legs. Yep, this movie has gone to the green with the legs for this movie. This movie was not really doing too well legs-wise, but has made $188 million domestically, which means it is in the green with legs. This movie will probably make $190 million domestically as well. So, yeah. And, yeah, next is the Watch Day. Yep, this movie is still in the top 10 movies of the week. Yeah, this movie, like Sonic 2, has had absurd legs at the box office. Okay, this movie has made $183 million worldwide, but $104 million domestically. Okay, it probably will do well on Blu-ray, Paramount Plus, and digital as well. Well, and I think the word of mouth for this movie, right, really helped this movie, like, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and Top Gun, because people actually like this movie. People actually like Top Gun. People actually like, of course, Everything Everywhere All at Once. People like those movies, and that's why they keep having these absurd legs. Meanwhile, we have movies like Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, doing abysmally at the box office, or Bob's Burgers, the movie, or, Downton Abbey, A New Era. Nobody wants any of those movies, especially Bob Burgers movie and Downton Abbey. Okay? Doctor Strange, you have the Marvel fanboys who are going to go see it anyways. Who are going to say, oh my god, but it's Marvel. And then be disappointed because they didn't watch the Disney Plus shows. Well, because that's basically what they're tied to. And you have this mess that you have to watch you have to subscribe to a streaming service in order to, understand the current MCU, which makes no sense. Okay, and people really like the second Sonic movie, but the second Sonic movie, the reason why it's having the ratings it has, because it opened to such a high number that it's just performing. This movie's just performing as expected, and word of mouth eventually got it into the green with ratings. And then of course now we have to talk about Morbius. Yeah, they re-released Morbius in theaters. Okay, it made $300,000, and it went up 907% from last week, which means there was some effect of re-releasing in theaters. It made that much money in theaters, and the real victim of Morbius losing theaters, people saying, "Oh, but everything everyone wants will be the real victim of Morbius gaining theaters." No, it was men. Okay, nobody wanted this. This movie, Men. Okay, Men, a movie that is, a woke pile of garbage. Okay, no one's watching. Nobody is watching this woke pile of garbage. Okay, Men is a box office failure. Okay, and yeah, no one is basically watching this movie because it is anti-man, anti-male, and it is basically sexist towards males. Okay, basically promoting, your typical feminist idea of what a man should be. Next is Crimes of the Future. Yeah, nobody watched this movie. Yeah, that's basically the only new release of the week, and it only opened in 773 theaters, and it made $1.1 million domestically. So yeah, it's another indie movie again. Watcher also released as well, and yeah, Morbius had an increase of 307% as well. So, and yeah, Firestar was another bigger loser. It lost 656 theaters. Again, a movie that really nobody watched, as well as Men. Okay, which typically the Men and I think the Hollywood's Rockefeller of horror movies is over because for some reason in 2020 there were so many horror movies being released. Okay, movies that's really sort of been on streaming only. Okay, that then Firestar really sort of been a Peacock exclusive because nobody wanted another remake of Firestarter. Okay, nobody asked for another remake of Firestarter. Okay, yeah, it's another remake of a story. Yeah, I found out what Firestarter really is. It's another remake of or Men, which is another A24 movie. Again, that is woke and no one is watching. Again, the woke always fail. It's always going to be like that. Doctor Strange didn't even make $1 billion when it was expected to. Okay, that is considered a failure in my opinion. The fact that a movie that is expected to make $1 billion didn't even make $1 billion because it was woke can all can tell you that nobody wants nobody cares about it. Okay, modern MCU is woke, and Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And the difference is because people actually wanted to start the second Doctor Strange movie. Okay, and there was no pandemic anymore. So the pandemic is basically over. So there was no excuse for Doctor Strange not to make $1 billion. Black Widow, if it were released during not a pandemic, it would probably made $1 billion, regardless if people liked it or not. And it got a China release as well. Again, Doctor Strange also didn't get a China release, which again is another thing. China and Hollywood are adding to his votes again, which is probably the reason why this movie didn't make $1 billion. If it released in China, it would have probably been a guaranteed $1 billion success. But it just seems that, wokeness just fails throughout the year, okay? And yeah. And Morbius, people were saying that, it flopped again, okay? Morbius has been out since, I think, May 17th on digital HD, on digital and streaming as well. So it's been out already it's been available to people at home for basically a couple weeks now. Okay, a couple weeks now. Morbius has been out for a couple weeks now. And yeah, we all know this is the false number of Morbius. It made $33 more billion. Okay, that's more $33 more billion, which is, definitely much more than $73 million. Okay. Okay, but yep, there you go about the box office. And that's basically about this video. Goodbye.